I have been watching these videos and talking about the season nationals for 24 hours.
So this is me, this is you, up close and true. Let's all be so bright and new. Oh, how good it feels to be beautiful. How wonderful it feels to be.
This is so beautiful. It is. It's adorable. The little bra tops, they're actually bras. Little girl bras from, I don't know, Target or Walmart or somewhere. We covered them with sheer and then the flowers because I had an older routine that teenagers did in these gorgeous bras that were really adorned with all the petals and stuff, and you know, Lifetime, I can't do that. We did like a little mini version, and the tulle skirts are adorable. And they had handheld mirrors that they were all looking in. Now this is the routine that we went to somewhere crazy, Lake Tahoe. I think we were in Lake Tahoe. We're there. Now remember, the producers of Dance Moms knew nothing about a dance competition. They know first, second, third. That's all they know. They didn't know there was like the top 5 and then you redance. Or in this particular situation at Starbound, there was a redance, like a banquet at the very end of the competition with select numbers that had been the big overall high score winners of the divisions, like the 12 and under division, 13 and over division, you know, whatever. And they take those winners and put them together. We go, they do their dance, they win. Then they win the overall high score. Yay, bravo. What happens next? It's a wrap. The cameras, the sound people, they take our mics off of us and we're finished. It's over. But it's not over. People, wake up. It's a dance competition. There's one more thing to go. We were there with the kids and they won the entire competition. All of their numbers, every big studio, we won. Did anybody capture it on film? No. That tells you right there how much they didn't know about dance or dance competitions. And yet, they all did a job, they all got a paycheck, and they all made a lot of money on Dance Moms. So that was season 1. That was the big national routine. They're so pretty in pink. The girls are beautiful. They did a great job with this number. They were little, they were juniors, you know? And there you have it. Does everyone know that music? Does it sound familiar? What is it? The last text. This routine was so important to me. I mean, I worked on this. I'm downtown in LA, in the garment district, buying these dresses, making sure that they all work together, that they're all the right size for each child. You know, because all the sizes run differently. I don't have the kids with me. I can't make them try them on. I'm just blinding this, you know, I'm just doing this blind. I'm down there, I'm buying all the dresses with my money, and then they would reimburse me when they got around to it. That's how it worked at the beginning. So this is season 2. I can't believe it was so long ago. And it's still relevant. People are still getting in accidents because they're on their phones, because they're texting. I think that this last text routine should have been a public service announcement. Somebody somewhere should have bought it or asked to use it to put out there for young drivers, for kids. So important. Then we took the dresses and I wanted them to have like tread marks and tire marks like you were in an accident and they were ripped up. So we have these brand new dresses that I don't know if they even fit the kids yet or if they look right on which kid, which color. And then we have to rip them up. I put them out in the parking lot because I couldn't get anyone to do this. And I drove over them with my car. I drove back and forth over the dresses. And then one of the moms, she had a real problem because her daughter, one of her daughters, wasn't dancing. And I kept saying, you have to wait and see, you just have to wait. And she was on my last nerve. And I remember that it was almost this close to being that big blowout assault where she grabbed my hair and yanked me and all this and that. We were that close to it in season 2. I kept saying, wait, you have to wait till the end, you have to wait till the end. That child and what she did do, not what she didn't do, what she did do was so, so important to the piece. So when Maddie grabs Paige and like shoves her, and Paige falls over, it tells the audience, the judges, that Paige was dead. She was already gone. As the people were flying out of the car, Paige had died instantly. Just so she's sitting there doing nothing, and the mother's freaking out, but her sitting there doing nothing while these people were flying out of the car, that was so important. That was just critical to the piece. If everybody flew out of the car, then it's not that big of a deal. But when one remains and you think that she's just stunned, she's in shock, but she's alive, she's just not moving, and then Maddie bumps her, you know that she had died instantly in the crash. And that right there is what won the number. I know when a routine that is controversial, pushing the envelope, I like to say, crossing the line a little bit, those are the numbers that I like. That is where my choreography goes, my theme, my idea. That's what I love. And we did it with the last text. And the last text, people remember. When the judges and the audience are completely silent after the routine, that's when I know I have a hit. Because they don't know whether to clap, to cry, to remain silent. They're in shock. They're gasping like at the number. And that's a winner. And that was the last text, season 2. Season 3, this was turbulent, to say the least. We went to New Orleans. Now, New Orleans is a big dance community. Big dance community, lots of dance studios, lots of competitions go there, and lots of hurricanes go there too. We went there for several reasons. We went because, A, the competition would film Dance Moms. But anyway, we go and Katrina had happened. Dance teachers that I know personally had their studios leveled, flattened, nothing left, everything gone. So these people were put out of their homes, put out of their dance studios. I chose this music almost home because by this point in time, the date of the competition, people were almost home. They were coming home. I've never experienced anything like this, but several of my friends have gone through it over and over through time, and they don't move. They stay there. They love it there. Well, I guess you eat the beignets and you go to the French Quarter and you go out and you have a hurricane drink and life is grand until the rain comes. We did the dance competition, and then the next day, Maddie, Melissa, and I stayed. And we did the first ever, I think, masterclass for Katrina. We were donating the money made, the money earned to help victims of Katrina, specifically dance teachers and dance studios. And that's what we did. I think there were 600 kids there. 600 kids came to the class. It was a huge event. My friend Darnie Fennerty, she was the hostess of that event, and she's the one that had invited Maddie and I to come. So that's what we did. But on the other side, let's talk about filming the TV show. So, Christy gets in a fist fight, a brawl, a physical altercation with none other than Peyton's mother, Leslie. They get in a fist fight. So Chloe and Peyton are not allowed to dance in the dance competition. Remember that other YouTube video I talked about where behavior matters? Yes, the behavior of the children as well as their parents, the mothers. So I have 2 kids out of the routine. 2 days into rehearsal, Asia Monet Ray doesn't show up. Where's Asia? Asia left in the middle of the night. I guess Christy just couldn't stick it out. Asia was a little powerhouse, a superstar. But in the group routines, maybe too much power on the jumps, maybe too much focus on being faster and being higher and being better and not staying with the group. Anyway, I'm at Nationals, doing the competition, And I am missing 3 dancers. So I am livid. I am livid with all of these people. We have a beautiful routine. And again, I went out and found these dresses. They're beautiful, they're perfect, and the girls are gonna lift them up. And the whole concept was the water, that the flooding is happening. So the holding up of the dress and walking back into their homes is what's part of the story. It's very relevant that they do this movement and hold these dresses. At the end, when Maddie's there and she's on her knees and the arms are reaching and she's kind of bobbing back and forth, like looking up like I'm almost there, all right? And poignant, beautiful piece. Missing 3 dancers. So who do I go to? I go to one of my friends, my dance teacher friends. I need a kid. Let's throw them in this number. And I get a young lady named Allie, and she is wonderful. We did the number. We won nationals, and I had 7 kids out on that stage. Brooke and Paige, Maddie and Mackenzie, Nia, Kendall, and our guest, Allie. Allie stayed with us for a while. I wish she would have stayed with us until season 8. She was great. Season 4, Amber Alert. You all know what an Amber Alert is? It's a strange ringtone you get on your phone. It's scary, and it means that a child has gone missing. That's what we did. It was probably just started that year, and we were hearing them all the time. That's why we did the piece. It was relevant to 2000 and whatever that was. I think it was 2015, 14. Mackenzie was kind of the star of this number, not Maddie. Mackenzie still being much smaller than the rest of the girls. She was the child. So we went with the right hair, we went with the right outfit, she had shorts on, everybody else had a dress. And who was snatching her, stealing her, kidnapping her? Nia. Nia and Mackenzie always had like a little bond. I'd given them a duet. They were both stronger in gymnastics than they were in, let's say, ballet. Nia was the first one in the choreography to grab her. And Mackenzie is like kicking and screaming and fighting to get away. I worked on that section where Nia grabs her and she has to kick and push and scream to get away. Over and over and over again. They would giggle, they would laugh. They thought it was silly or it was stupid or it was Or maybe they weren't acting like that, I can't remember. I just assumed that. I think it was just hard for them. I had my dear friend in Pittsburgh, Minnie Rossi Stabler, who is responsible for many, many careers. She actually used to come to the studio at 8 o'clock in the morning and have privates with Maddie, acting classes. I gave Mackenzie and Nia a shot. If we lost this nationals, it was gonna be on them. They wanted to be stars, they wanted to be featured in the number, so here we go. Nia grabs Mackenzie, puts her in this chair, and you have to think it's like a TV show where they like bind them up with the tape and they put the thing in their mouth and but we just kind of used the chair to symbolize that. Now everybody else is looking for her. She was holding Maddie's hand and now she's gone. She was playing with this one, now she's gone. Playing with that one, now she's gone. Where is she? So in the end, they actually find her in the chair, that she's Amber Alert, missing, abducted. Abducted would be the word, taken. So that's this number. Now you guys at home, did we win? Didn't we win? I have no idea. Was this a big winning number? You're gonna have to go look that up and find out. We won every season at Nationals. Season 1, Season 2, Season 3, Season 4, until Season 5, which I will go to my grave believing that Season 5 was fixed. Either that, or the guy running the competition was so disorganized, he didn't know what he was doing or what he was saying. He was a nice man. He was very nice to me at the beginning. Then he kind of got all tied up with the producers. He knows nothing about dance. Most competitions are owned by people that either did dance, but not professionally as a performer, or maybe they were a professional performer and now they've retired and this is what they're doing. But this guy had just invested money with a young woman who was a professional dancer, kind of, sorta, and wanted to own a dance competition. So he was a finance guy, very wealthy, and he invested in it. Next thing we know, he's up on the stage reading these awards, and doesn't know what the bleep he's doing. The routine was called the waiting room. This routine was all about the counts, all about the timing. This routine was difficult. I don't mean round off, back handspring, back tuck, back handspring, back tuck. Not that kind of level difficulty, but it was all about the counting. So the waiting room is a story set in the waiting room of a hospital. And you have different people, strangers. But by the 5th hour of sitting in this waiting room, you get to know people. You watch them. You try to find out what's their story. Why are they here? And that's what it's all about. So you're with these strangers, and as time goes on, they're not strangers anymore. You know their story, they know yours, without saying a word. My favorite part of this routine is when Kalani walks across the chairs in the waiting room. I love this routine, it's one of my favorites. So we get to the awards, we know that we are winning because we've watched every other number. You know, it's not like a job where you go to an audition for an acting thing, you read a script and you go in one by one and you leave and you never hear from anybody. Well, you know you didn't get the job, but you don't know who did until you go see the movie or you go see the TV show, right? Right. But at a dance competition, I'm a dance teacher, a choreographer. I'm sitting in the audience. I'm watching every number. I can see who screwed up or who was off or who just wasn't that great, or maybe a really good number that I'm worried about that might win. None of that. The announcements came and they were all over the place. Like, he was announcing routines that had already won and the people left. He was announcing their routine. He was announcing it backwards. He was trying to be funny and crack jokes up there. It was awful. And I could see a producer in the wings, and I could see a producer trying to talk to him, trying to tell him, this guy, what to say. And you would see him turn around and look at him and like ignore him and keep reading off of this paper. It was a nightmare. I have never, ever walked out of a dance competition in my life, except that time. Long story short, we get up, we leave. I am fed up with this thing. We are out in the parking lot and the producers are running, the camera guys, you know those cameras are like 200 pounds. They're running with the cameras trying to catch us, and we're all jumping in our cars because we've already planned where we're gonna stop and eat. And we know that we're gonna go to this restaurant, we're all stopping there, get on the highway, go halfway home, get off, let's go eat and talk about this. And that's what we were doing, and they were all chasing us down trying to get us to go back in, and we did not. That's probably the only time that the mom stuck with me and said, no, we're not going in. We're not coming back. This is a joke. And that's what happened to the waiting room in season 5. And one more thing, I am not a sore loser. Do I like to win? Of course, everybody likes to win, but you can't win them all the time. It's never going to happen. And I really do think it's good for kids to lose at a dance competition. They need to learn defeat and how to lose gracefully, and they know how to win gracefully too. When you win, you don't rub it into somebody else's face. Wait until you get to the restaurant, or wait till you get back to your studio, or at least to the dressing room before you're jumping up and down like crazy, right? Yes. This is the only competition I have ever walked out on, because I was making a statement that this was a joke, that this competition was a mockery. They were not giving my dancers or other dancers there too, all the other dancers, the respect that they should have had. The judges, the guy that ran the competition, the people that owned the competition, it was a joke. Yeah, and I know how to lose, believe me. You kids know me from a television show that happened in 2011. I started teaching in 2084, 85, come on. That's when I was competing, kids. So I lost, and I lost, and I lost, and I lost. I learned how to make better dancers. I learned how to create better choreography. I did that. So you have to lose, 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 lose until you win. You viewers have to understand that I learned the hard way. I lost before I won. And then when I did start winning, I was judging a lot all over the country and Canada. Judging, judging, judging. So from a judge's perspective, I knew what looked good. I knew how to stage a number. And I knew what not to do, importantly. When this guy was up there reading things ass backwards, it was a joke. It was just a joke. And I don't feel that our time, our energy, and our choreography should have been subjected to that. That's why we walked. And the mothers knew that, and that's why they walked with me. Season 7. Now, season 7 was one of those numbers that leave you speechless. The audience members don't know whether to clap, to cry. It was quite emotional. Because now, the kids are older. They're teenagers. So I'm trying to push the envelope again, but now I can do more mature dancing. It doesn't have to be little kids in pretty dresses. This was definitely a character routine. We were in Asbury Park, and this is one of those beach towns. You think of Bruce Springsteen. When people go, we're going down the shore, Asbury Park. We're there. Are we excited? Is it gonna be fun? No, it's the middle of winter. There's ice on the ground. It's snowing. The restaurants are closed for the season. Of course they're closed, there's nobody there. This is another big scoop for all of you. This was supposed to be the last performance of Dance Moms. The last show, the end, the finale, that's it. This was it. This was a costume nightmare because I wasn't at home in Pittsburgh. We weren't in LA. We were in a beach town. It wasn't like I was in New York City and could run to any store. No, I'm out in this beach town with nothing. Before the show, I had a day off, but we all flew in, and I'm trying to remember this correctly. I had to fly from Asbury Park, New Jersey to Seattle, Washington, because I had a meeting at Amazon. It was a big meeting. It was exciting. It was for my new dancewear line, and dance teachers all over the world would have loved, loved, loved this dancewear line. But like anything, the network put a knife in it. It didn't happen because I was gonna use the costumes on the show. We weren't sure there'd be another season. We thought this was the end. So it was really hard for me to say, oh yeah, I can use all these costumes on the show, these dancewear basics that we make costumes out of, yada, yada, yada. So that was it. Now, the kids dance. The ending of the number is Kalani. She ODs on stage. Like she's convulsing. And I warned that kid. I mean, I always felt like Kalani and I had a good relationship. Kalani's laying on the floor, convulsing, convulsing, convulsing. And I told her not to stop. Do not stop. Do not stop convulsing. You never die. The end of the routine is not that you die. We don't know if you die, or we don't know if you get saved. You keep convulsing. And she did it, and did it, and did it, and did it. And that's why people don't know whether to clap, whether to stop, what to do. We went back to the dressing room, to this vast room. I usually have to stay in the room with the mothers until we fight. I mean, we've done how many episodes? Come on. There's gonna be a fight, there has to be an explosion. There's going to be a fight, there has to be an explosion, or no one is going to leave. But that didn't happen. It's weird. I was ushered out of there so fast. It was very scary, almost surreal. Abby, you can go. Come on, get your stuff, let's go. I'm like, hallelujah. I'm exhausted. I grabbed my stuff, I thought, and I started to leave the room. Next thing I know, 2 men I've never seen before on crew. Don't know who they are, so they're locals, obviously. They each kind of, I don't know if they touched me and took my arm, but it was like that, and they put me in a van, in the front seat of a van, got me up into it, shut the door, and the guy was pulling away. And I realized I didn't have my phone charger. And of course my phone, if you know me, my phone is always dead. Stop, go back. I need my phone charger. I can't be in the hotel without the phone charger. It's not like I can call the concierge and say, send up a phone charger, because there's no concierge. There's not even anybody in the hotel but us. They wouldn't go back, they wouldn't stop. They take me to the hotel, drop me off. What am I gonna do? Go to dinner? Go to a show? Sure, I'd love to run back into New York City. All the moms and all the kids were going into the city with a limo to see something. But they didn't invite me. So I go up to the room, I lay down on the bed, I wake up. Next thing I know, my dear friend, hairstylist, makeup artist, is kneeling next to the bed, shaking me to wake me up. She is bawling her eyes out. I immediately think there was an accident. Her boyfriend at the time was our lighting director. They had to go up really high ladders and like crawl across the ceiling to put lighting in this vast room. And I don't know why I thought this. I thought that he fell, but that's not what happened. That's not why she was hysterical. It was because they brought an old cast member back. Season 8, drum roll, da 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 da. Yes, season 8. I signed a 4-year contract with a 4-year option, and Lifetime got 8 seasons out of me. The routine was a musical theater. It's what the network wanted. Now it's season 8, the last episode. I'm doing whatever they tell me to do. It really was great to see the kids do a musical theater number and do it well in New York City. We're in New York City, and we are doing a musical theater number from the show Prom. So Lifetime was the network, and a woman named Abby Raven is a big shot with the network. Her husband was the producer of the Prom, and that's how it all happened. So Lifetime, the network, wanted this on a show that people watch, all different age brackets, all different demographics, and they wanted us to promote their show. Earlier I mentioned, have I ever walked out of a competition? No. Would I ever walk out again? No. But I sure did roll out of season 8. It's time to rank the national finals, seasons 1 through 8. Last would have to be 6. Season 6 would be, I don't even know what the name of it is. I didn't do the number, so I don't really care. In 7th place is going to be Amber Alert. Then we have in 6th place, this was a hard one. This whole 5th and 6th thing was rough. Prom, a musical theater number. I loved it, it was fun, and I love those kids, but just routine-wise, they're 6th. In 5th place is Home Again, or maybe it's almost Home Again. It was the piece about Katrina in New Orleans. My 4th favorite national number would have to be The Waiting Room. It was from season 5. We did not win. We got up and walked out. We weren't very good troopers, but the number was amazing. In 3rd place would be Beautiful. The routine that we did at the very first nationals, the kids were so little, we had no idea what we were getting ourselves into. No idea that Dance Moms would go on for years and years and years. In 2nd place is There Still Hope? That was the routine that was going to end it all. That was to be the grand finale. And it was a big winning number, and the girls were great. And my all-time favorite routine, and the one I think that was most poignant, special, relevant, still relevant today, is the last text. And if you could have seen the working environment with one mother just screaming at me and down my throat and almost causing a fist fight, it was insane what I had to go through to get that number on stage. Thank you all for watching. I hope you enjoyed this little trip down memory lane as much as I did, pulling an all-nighter, but we did it. Leave your comments below. Please, please, please subscribe to my channel, like it, and tell us what you want to see. Tell us what you liked. Tell us if you like my earrings, because they are the key to success. Mwah. Bye. Thank you.